What's going on, guys? Glad y'all could join me. Just putting together evening Mystique samples, one at a time. I got the several, like 6 layers in this box that I did last time, just getting back to it. Appreciate everybody being in here. What's going on, Joe, Kevin, Ethan? Actually got a for 10 in the morning Central and meet in the first minute. That's pretty impressive to have 15 people waiting around. I appreciate you guys. So it's just me hanging out. I had the option to do this in the office, but I was like, I want to do a live stream, so I'm gonna stay in the room we were in last time, you know. And so I'm gonna get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these done to add to what's already done, and that'll be enough to get us going for a while because we need a lot of these. Like this giant box isn't enough. Like that's 6 layers deep of samples, and that's not even remotely close. But I need more than this box full. Is how many samples I need. So a lot of sampling to do. I may be doing a little bit of sampling tomorrow when I start my day, but I'm going to knock out as many as I can here. So the key to it, for those of you that weren't around for the live stream last time, we have these sample vials that Zaharoff uses. Roll of stickers. Same stickers that go on wrapping the bottles. You can see this is a Second Soul bottle with the custom paper that has all our logos, and then right there you see Second Soul sticker. It's the same stickers that we use for these samples, so it's best to put the stickers on first just in case a little bit spills over, because it's impossible to get them to stick once they spill over. And then this is what the finished product looks like. I did a few of them when I was doing the thumbnail to show you guys. And then fragrance oil in a pipette, and then we'll go through putting a cap on in just a little bit. Like I said, this is for those of you that didn't see us doing this last time. It's a weird week. I took personal paid day today, having my morning coffee, sprayed on Dossier Musky Oak Moss, their Ventus clone. It's going to be a good day. I sure hope you have a really good day, Joe. Sorry if I'm not going to see every single comment. So I had a feeling I was immediately going to get one of these comments because this must be, Mar, you must not have seen any of the other content. So the samples are only for the orders. So let's say you order Second Soul, and that's the only fragrance you bought. So in your order, you'll get a sample of Evening Mystique and of the Immortals. Because this is a limited run, it's not going to be sticking around for long. Once they're sold out, they're gone. Sampling makes more sense when it's going to be a regular SKU. Then it's definitely one of those deals where, sampling should be available. Whereas in this instance, it's when they're gone, they're gone. Get in on it if you want to get in on it. If you still want to try before you buy, which I totally understand. I preach it myself to you guys all the time. Places like fatboyfragrance.com will be selling decants. He's taking pre-orders on decants, different sizes right now. He actually bought special decants for this, so shout outs to Juan. And I want to say it's Z15 is the coupon code, if I remember correctly. I'd have to go check my messages and jump off the stream, but I don't want to do that right now. But I know there's a bunch of other decanters that have bought bottles, but we're going to go ahead and support Juan here on this channel. So shout outs to Juan, Fat Boy Fragrances. And check out his website if you're interested in buying a decant. Like I said, it's on pre-order right now because he doesn't have his bottles yet. Nobody's got their bottles yet. We will be shipping out into the weekend, Monday at the latest, because UPS doesn't pick up on Saturday. We can't get trucks on Saturday. George checked. Probably going to be shipping the bulk of the orders on Monday, so they'll all be shipped out Monday. So everybody here domestically should have their bottles by next weekend, depending on how far away from Chicago, Illinois you live. Take a minute and hit that like button for Ross giving us behind the scenes view. Thank you, Clinton. I appreciate that. I totally agree. I can't see how many likes we have. I know we got around 40 people. Please, by all means, hit that like. Get YouTube to push this around to notify more subscribers, because they don't necessarily push every live stream. Live streams aren't, it's getting better, but live streams aren't YouTube's biggest priority with the different algorithms. What's going on, Grant? How are you? Got my bottles from George in like 2 days. Yeah, shipping's pretty fast. It all depends on what shipping option you choose when you make your order, because you have a few options. How's Blue Noir Parfum treating? It's funny that you ask. So we didn't start this live stream right. What's everybody wearing? My fault. I'm wearing Blue Noir Parfum from Narciso Rodriguez, like he was saying. I had sprayed it, maybe 20, 30 minutes had passed. I have 5 sprays on around my neck, one directly on the back, and then 2 and 2, like kind of almost to my chin. Because I did a few in the front with Dior Homme Parfum yesterday, and I actually got a headache at about like the 8 or 9 hour mark. It was just too much. I was just living in Dior Homme Parfum for too long. Um, so when they're really strong like that, it's best not to spray them in front of you. And I know better, but I was wearing a hoodie. I'm limited on where I can spray because I'm not going to spray my hoodie. I digress. So with Blue Noir Parfum, as soon as I got in the car, we didn't make it a block down the road, and George had to roll the window down because it was choking him out. Very cloying. He said, "You smell like baby powder," and he was choking a little bit. So sorry, George. It didn't get better. He rolled the window. As soon as he rolled it back up, it's projecting like crazy off my skin in a confined space like that in a mid-sized sedan. It was filling the car pretty heavily. I didn't realize it was. I mean, I can smell myself very easily. I didn't realize it was that strong coming off of me. So clearly, it works well with my skin. Senade Isimiaki Noir Ombre Dark Night by Alexandria Fragrances. I see somebody tagging Marcial. Is Marcial hiding in here somewhere? I didn't see him. Marcial, if you're in there, he is. I'm so sorry, Marcial. I did not see you were there, my friend. Glad to have you in the stream. Because I'm looking down. I got to keep a steady pace with getting these done because I have so freaking many to do, which I'm pretty sure I'll have Athena helping in some form or fashion. It looks like they got a good bit of bottles, not even close to all of them, a good bit of bottles wrapped. So I don't know. I'm assuming she's going to do Justin's sampling while I do mine because Justin needs just as many more samples as I need. We're about the same. Yeah, we're about the same. His box is behind the phone. You can't see his box. But having 40 of you at, 10 o'clock in the morning, randomly on a Wednesday when I gave no heads up, I gave like a 10, 15-minute heads up for notifications. I appreciate you guys. I really do. For any of you wanting to get in on this first batch, definitely go to Zaharoff.com/ZCreators or just go to Zaharoff.com, click Shop the Fragrance, and there's a spot for Z Creators in the drop down under Shop the Fragrance. And get your pre-orders in, preferably Evening Mystique. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But if you decide one of the other ones speaks to you more, you'll still be able to try Evening Mystique. So you're going to see the process change here in just a second. The block's almost full. I mean, we have several blocks. I got 2 of them propped up holding this. But I like to do one block at a time. Just one block, keep my focus. And we're going to fill one at a time, cap them one at a time, because if you fill a bunch of them at once, you can get some splash because it's a hammering effect with this. Autumn Clark, how are you, Kid Cool? How long are you in Chicago for? I'm going to be here till Monday. Justin and Grace leave Sunday evening. And then Andrea is going to be in New York this weekend. So those of you attending Scent Explore, make sure to give Andrea and Anthony a big hug for me, for those of you that are able to give them a hug. I mean, you guys might be a bit of strangers. I don't know how, I shouldn't say that because I don't know how receptive they'll be to that, but tell them hello for me. How about that? Talked to Andrea this morning, actually, while we were in the car. Almost, last one. All right, time to start filling these bad boys. So the way I do it is I actually fill it up and then kind of just dab the tip to where it gets rid of that little bit so it doesn't drip over. I learned that last time. And when I say last time, I don't mean last trip to Chicago. I mean the first round of Z Creators from 2021. I learned that's the right amount in here, and it's easier. You don't have any spillover. You're able to pace a lot better. You don't have to worry about any flying out of it when you're going from the glass to the sample vials. So I don't know why I just got ahead of myself. I just finished telling you guys it's best not to do it this way. I guess I just wanted to show you guys. So there's going to be some potential splash on this. So I just wanted to show you guys. Senade Perry Ellis Vanilla Oud. Luckily I have some 2 ml empty decants. Not a huge fan of the dabbers. Most people aren't. But for cost efficiency, This is what's been best for Mr. Zaharoff. It keeps the cost low for his samples as well. It's not doing too bad. They're not really bouncing around. So maybe I'll just do one row, like one section of the block at a time. Because it doesn't take a ton of impact to get them to seal. This is a pretty hefty weight. Marcial, practice makes perfect. That's correct, sir. That is absolutely correct. All right. So for those of you just jumping on, don't forget, hit that like button. Let YouTube know that more people need to see me making samples of Evening Mystique. So let's see. How does the fragrance smell even just putting in the decants? It's a nice resinous, smoky iris smell. Couple that with Blue Noir Parfum, another iris fragrance projecting pretty heavily off of my skin. It's an iris oasis going on around me right now. But there's much more complexity coming from this than there is what's off of my skin. Because like I said, it's a lot of resins and incense. So if you like that kind of stuff, you'll absolutely love Evening Mystique. For those of you, I made sure to get Chris from Fragmental's permission. I didn't just post our private conversation just to do it. But it was such a nice thing that he had to say about Evening Mystique that I wanted to share it with you guys. So on my community post, I just made a community post on YouTube and then in my stories on Instagram what Chris had to say about Evening Mystique. Chris has a set of bottles already because him, Atkinson, and George Zaharoff all hit the streets and did blind smelling raids with random people in the streets. And so George was leaving, gave Chris a hug, and he's like, "Oh, you smell nice." He said, "Yeah, I'm wearing Evening Mystique." So Chris legitimately likes Evening Mystique. So I greatly appreciate him. I value and respect his opinion. So would I have been disappointed if he didn't like it? Of course I would have been. That would have been a little disheartening because, like I said, I respect him and I value his opinion. But I'll tell you what, it thrills me because of that fact that he likes Evening Mystique. So put that in the win column. Those of you in the UK that were interested, pre-orders are now open in the UK for the Zed Creator fragrances at luxparfum.co.uk. Definitely check out Chris's website if you want to go ahead and get your hands on Evening Mystique, Second Soul, or Of the Immortals. All three are available currently for pre-order. Shipping dates, I'm not sure. I'm not the one to ask in that situation. That would be a George Zaharoff and Chris Wilkinson question. You know, that's out of my realm of information. And lovely little bug that just had to die. It was random. Looking good, Bo. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like the mad chemist. I don't know if I would go that far with it. Clifton, I hope you're feeling better, man. How are you feeling today? I know yesterday you said you were still in bed sick. One more, and I'll check the comments. Like I said, I might not be as talkative as I usually am on these. Dapper Daddy, hope all is well. Absolutely, sir. I cannot complain. So like I was going to say, I might not be as talkative as usual because I got to keep pace as far as responding to comments. I'm still going to chat with you guys, but I need to keep a decent pace, you know. I mean, I'm not flying through it. It's not something that you rush because that could involve something breaking, spilling, and so on. So you don't want to fly through it, but I want to keep a decent pace. Like I said, I have a lot to do, a lot of samples. Dylan, still at home. Damn. Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. I hope you get to feeling better soon, Clifton. No new comments. Let me scroll back just a little bit. When do you think the best time to hit the discount stores for hauls? You think most are restocked by now for the holidays? The ones around me in Colorado Springs aren't. They're useless. Mainly the Marshalls and TJ Maxx near me. When I was in Texas, it was a different story, but that was also pre-pandemic and into the beginning of the pandemic. So I'm actually terrible to ask because of my rack store situation. So I'm really not sure, my man. I'm actually not that helpful in that topic at the moment. Now, when I move back to Texas, I'm hoping to get back in a better rack store situation than what I'm in currently. That's why you guys haven't seen too many rack store videos, because every time we go, I start filming. And when I get to the fragrance section, if it's abysmal, I stop recording immediately and delete what I recorded already. Because I'm not going to waste my time just piling up footage of nothing, you know, just showing how ridiculous it is. I mean, that's a boring ass video for you guys. I've done one of those already where I compiled a few stores, but I'm not going to just do that all the time just to put something out that says rack store. You know, if I don't find anything, or it's like literally super scarce and nothing on the shelves really, I'm not going to put that out, you know. Just get disappointed and go look at clothes and other stuff, you know. Oh, new comments. What's going on, Vicky? Ross is better than TJ Maxx in my area. Hey, still remember when I bought that last Burberry Indigo? You were right. Hey, that's good stuff. I had that 30 ml, and then now I have a 100 ml. Shout outs to Chuck, Fat Shady, if you happen to see this. Fat Shady on YouTube sent me his 100 ml because he doesn't care for it. So I have a 100 ml bottle and a 30 ml bottle of it. Great in the warmer months. I'll probably pull that one back into the rotation when spring hits. It's a good time of year for it. This stuff is good. I agree. I agree. It's good fragrance, man. Underrated. Doesn't get enough love. Like a much greener take on Aqua de Jo Profumo. Kind of what it reminds me of. So glad to catch you on. I'm glad you caught me on as well. Good to have you. Good to read your comments because I can't see you. I was about to say good to see you. I had the breakfast of champions this morning. We wanted to hurry and get here so I can get to it. So I just grabbed a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin and a hash brown. Not the most healthy thing in the world, but it's some calories. Had a good, decent workout last night in the hotel gym. And considering what time we're leaving today, I don't know if George has a personal trainer appointment. I'm hoping he does, so I can go to his gym and train back. That's what I'm hoping for. I've trained at his gym before. I like the equipment. They got a lot of older style equipment, hammer strength and stuff like that. Especially when you're working back, because I've trained back at this gym before. So I'm hoping, sure hoping we're going to the gym. So he knows damn good and well if he's going, I want to go too. Get in all the workouts I can while I can. Once we start packing orders, boy, it's game time. Because we got a lot of orders. It's a great problem to have. Thank you guys for that. We got a lot of orders to pack. There's still so much to do, but I have to get, this done first. Andrea's in the house. Everybody say hi to Andrea. Curly, since Andrea, you're more than welcome to join. I know it's not the same as having me, 10 feet away from you to ease the anxiety a little bit, but I mean, you're more than welcome. If you want to jump on, I'll shoot you the link. Just let me know, and I'll jump off the stream for a second and send it to you on IG or text it to you. I'll just text it to you. That'd be easier. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, today's my shoulder day. Everybody's saying hello to Andrea. I'm all by my lonesome, Andrea. No Athena. She's not here yet. Just me hanging out in the room. Well, about to hit the gym. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I say that like I didn't work out at like 10:30 last night, But like I said a minute ago, I'm looking forward to hitting the gym today. So just mundane, boring stuff. Figured I'd jump on a live stream and share it with everybody. What's going on, Tyler? Glad you could make it. Versace the Dreamer is atrocious. Unpopular opinion. I kind of agree with you. I don't think it's atrocious, but I don't like it. I gave my bottle away years ago. I don't know that dry tobacco lavender combo. Maybe it was better in older formulations many years ago, but I just don't care for it. I just don't care for it. I had bought a bottle a few years ago, gave it several tries, didn't care for it, ended up giving it away to Miguel, one of my moderators in my Facebook group. Shout out to Miguel. We got 60 people at 10:26 in the morning. I'd like to think that's a pretty good crowd. I mean, that's kind of the crowd I get sometimes at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Lately, you guys have been really showing up for the live streams. I've been peaking around 90 to 100 for these midday live streams in the middle of the week, which I believe to be impressive, especially considering the time slot. A lot of you guys are at work watching this stuff or just listening to the stream. I appreciate all the support. I really do, guys. Uh-oh, we got some long ones. Let's see. I went live as I was about to hit anytime, but I'm off today, so I can wait. Also, yes, the Dreamer's terrible. Not worse than Cuba Black, though. I agree. It's definitely not. I'd much prefer to take Versace Dreamer. I love the Dreamer. I actually returned it to the Marshalls and bought it from because I didn't like it at first, but went back for it and it grew on me. Tyler said, just painting and watching. Two grown men working. Yeah, that's the funny thing. We're doing completely different things, and I'm live streaming me doing this because this isn't the most important thing in the world, but for the situation, it is one of the most important things in the world. In my world currently, for sure. Got to get these samples out in these orders. Andrea, if you're with Anthony, give him a big hug for me. RXL, what's going on? Versace the Dreamer smells like an old pack of cigarettes left in the rain. That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm just not a fan, man. I tried to get down with it. My partner, because when we were at Mercedes, we had a partner system where there was 2 shifts and 2 certain days, Tuesday and Wednesday were the days off. So we would rotate. So my partner was in the desk next to me. Shout out to Luis if he happens to see this. And that's him and his son's signature scent. They love it. They swear by it. I couldn't get down with it. Dreamer has always been a favorite of mine. I mean, it's mixed. It's like every fragrance. Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to despise it. And like I said, I don't despise it. I just didn't care for it to the point to where I gave it away to a friend because he said he'd take it. Okay, you can have it. Does anyone know any perfume that smells like cigarette smoke and leather? Off the top of my head, let's see. The Dreamer's good on a cold, rainy day. That's about the only time I wear it. Yeah, everybody's got their certain situations for certain fragrances. I'm very situational and seasonal when it comes to my fragrances as well. Andrea, I don't know if you were on here when I was telling the story of when I got in the car with George earlier, because I'm wearing Blue Noir Parfum Narciso Rodriguez. Got 5 sprays on around my neck. Didn't realize it was coming off of my skin that strong. I was choking George out. He kept having to put the window down. He was coughing. So I smelled like baby powder. So, and you can attest to all the strong fragrances as a group we get in that car with. And this was the one that he just couldn't take it. Can't wait to see your reaction on Paris Corner and Meal Celestial. I know, you keep telling me. I know you dig it. What would be your top 5 favorite wrestlers' signature scents? That's a weird question, Ethan. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. Because I don't believe in the whole scenting a person kind of thing based off of a picture or personality and stuff like that. Because you could be way off. Because prime example, Roman Reigns did a GQ thing, and Creed Aventus was his fragrance that he has to keep with him. One of his 10 things he has to have on the road. And it's kind of boring at this point if Creed Aventus is your thing. Sorry for those of you Creed Aventus lovers that are hardcore, collect different batches and everything. It's not knocking you. I'm just saying it's kind of boring because I wouldn't have pegged him for a Creed Aventus guy. Bought a bottle of Europe duty free, and I'm still undecided on it. I love it. I love it. Dave was supposed to, Callie's Groom Room, he was going to send me a decant. And then out of nowhere, I get the package, and it's like, well, that's a much bigger box than just a decant. Turns out he bought me a 50 ml. So I have a 50 ml, and I love it. I love it. It's right up my alley. A little spicy up top, that leather suede combo in the dry down. It's a little waxy, the iris, not quite creamy like a Givenchy Gentleman, more waxy like a Dior Homme. I dig it quite a bit. So this is the downside. Some of them, you're hammering them into the block. So this one's not wanting to come out. We'll come back to that one. Andrea knows what I'm talking about. They get stuck in these damn blocks. That's why I try not to be too heavy-handed with it and just let the weight of the weight do the work. Come on, I'll come back to that one. Because you start like putting a little effort into it to go down, they get stuck pretty easy. It's out the way. A few of them that are stuck. You want to smell like cigarette? There's some great pipe tobaccos. Let's see. Bye. Everyone's orders are coming very soon. Yes, they are. Have a good workout, Andrea. Everybody tell Andrea bye. All right. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Not all of them are stuck. I try to organize them as best I can, because when you start being unorganized and just kind of tossing them in there, you can fit less. I got a lot I need to put in here. All right, that's all the ones that are stuck. So I sit here and wiggle and pull and try not to snap the damn thing. And A, cut yourself and get instant burn because there's perfumer's alcohol, and B, make a mess. Love you, man, all the way from India. I appreciate that, Yoga X. Thank you, man. Love you, too. Got about 60 people. I'm not sure what the like situation looks like, but if you haven't liked the stream yet, please do so. Take a split second if you like. I appreciate that. Edward says, beautiful looking juice. That it is. The name of the color is Amber Sandalwood, was the color tone I chose. Very deep ambery type of color. This is what it looks. This is what it looks like in a jug. This is one of the jugs. We have several of these. Zaharoff Tltg at 25%. And Justin's jugs over there. I'm not going to try to go get that right now. Take care, Curly. Come on. There we go. Finally got it. Some of these are really in here. Just checking in. Got some cut. It's better go in peace, my guy. Have a good one, man. How many renditions did it take to get the one you love? So initially, after our first two conversations that I had with Claude, because I didn't have to do a brief with Claude. He gets me. It's a beautiful situation to be in. He submitted four renditions to me based off of what I explained I wanted and the notes I'd like to use, the accords I was going for, from the story, all the good stuff. And I did find a base that I liked. And I say base because you start from there and you just start tweaking and adjusting the formula from there, you know? And got to mod 4. Mod 3 I sat on for like 2 months, and I was happy with it. It didn't have all of the resins. It had the Orchinox, but it didn't have the myrrh, and it didn't have the olibanum resin, and it didn't have the incense. So it didn't have any of that smoky resinous feel that I was really looking for. It was more the juniper and the spices were a lot heavier. Like I said, it could have been more of a daytime feel in many ways. Like it came out really good. But when I was about to come to market with it, I had picked oil concentrations already. With that one, I was going with 22% because the brightness really benefited that one more. wasn't as heavy of a wear because it didn't have all the resins and incense and stuff. So about 2 months went by and I just kept feeling like something was missing, like it's almost there. So finally I called Claude, told him what I was thinking, and we started spitballing. He was like, well, I could add oud. I could maybe use a darker patchouli instead of the clean patchouli. And I told him, look, by all means, do your thing. And who am I to tell you how to be creative when it comes to making perfumes? But if you could make one rendition with some added resins and incense for me, that would be great. Because I don't know, it's just something about that I feel would get that balsamic and smoky tone that I'm looking for, almost like a Middle Eastern vibe. So he actually ended up doing that rendition first, and that was the only one. He ended up not making the others because he was so impressed with how it came out. Because he's got to reblend, rebalance, all that good stuff, change the formula. And he emailed me instead of kept calling me or texting me because he wanted to copy, the reps we deal with at Mon and everything, and the project director. And he told me, he's like, Ross, I did this, yada yada yada. I'm not going to name names. So and so's favorite percentage is this. I'm dying to know what you think. As soon as you get these, please give me a call. I'd love to hear your live reactions over the phone. And I was blown away. I was absolutely taken back, blown away. I asked Claude, this is it. You're a genius. This is exactly what I was looking for. Also made me feel really good. I felt like the thing that was missing when added, it ended up being the thing that was missing. So it was pat on the back kind of thing. It was validating in some ways. It was fantastic. It was fantastic the way it came out, the whole story behind it, the way we got to it. Obviously, there's much more to the story than that, but that's kind of the summarization of how we got to this final rendition. I was back and forth between 22% and 25%. I had 5 concentrations I requested after I decided this was the one, this was the formula, because gave it to me at 18%. And tried 20, 22, 25, and 27. 27, it was too close to the skin. It was too heavy. 22 was brighter, but the richness of the heart didn't come out as much. Like it was more about the top, and then you get more to the base a little bit quicker. It was just something about the 25% that really held and wore the way I wanted it to, and really brought to life the feeling and the vibe that the fragrance was intended to have. We got 70 people right now at a morning live stream on a Wednesday. I appreciate you guys. That was a great question, by the way. I'm sure I got way behind on questions because of it, because it's a long answer. But I appreciate the question because like I said many times, I'm so proud of this fragrance. It could not have come out better. There's no doubt in my mind. It could not have come out better. It is above 100% the vision that I had. I'm so proud of this. It tells the story I want to tell perfectly. Claude is brilliant, very blessed and thankful to have the relationship that I have with Claude and have the understanding the way we do. Because, like I said, I didn't have to do a brief. We just talked on the phone a few times. That's all it took. That man is a master at what he does, hence the name Master Perfumer. There's only so many perfumers in this world that have that title. And I am fortunate enough to be able to work with one that I so highly respected in the first place, Well, great to hear this info. I'm glad I asked. Yeah, thank you, Justin. I appreciate the question. Seriously. Let's see. When are you going to release an oud? I looked up the notes on this one, and there isn't any. No, there's no oud in this one. We talked about potentially adding oud, and I mainly was looking for the resins and the incense, and when I got it, and the way he blended it, it was perfect. Like we talked about on my Instagram live last night with George and Justin, I mean, there's no plans to do a third round. If we ever do, it's going to be years from now. It's not like next year. As of right now, there is no next year. You know what I mean? The focus for Zaharoff is the European market and opening up France and Italy, because George has the office in France now. So that's the focus for Zaharoff. And so this could be it for a long time or possibly forever. We don't know. We've talked about it as a group. But where we're at right now is that's the focus for Zaharoff, and that's what's best for business, and what's best for business always comes first, But in the event, like I said on my live stream last night on IG, in the event I know exactly what I want to do. I already have Notes written down, top, mid, and base, things I'd like to do. I have a working title for the name, which, I'm not going to reveal. But if I ever get to do a third fragrance, I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly how I want to continue the story. If you're not, I mean, this mind doesn't stop working. I like to always be prepared because it's the same thing with this. Before the last bottle sold, the business over pleasure, I knew what I wanted to do if I ever got to do this one. Because at the time, there was no next one, At the time, there was no second fragrance. It came about after the fact. And I knew I was able to get to work right away. Once George said, green light, we're going to do this, I called Claude immediately, which I had already talked to Claude. Hey, there's a chance. Here's what I'm thinking, just to kind of get his mind going. Like me and Claude had a discussion before the official green light was done. Like I said, I'm blessed to have that type of relationship with Claude where I can just call him, I lost for a second. I've ordered from, I'm not sure what flag that is. It's so small on my phone. Bro, I would drink the bourbon rich color. It is a deep bourbon color. It really is. Very ambery tone as well. It's full body because it's 25% oil. Have an awesome day, Ross and Chad. Have a good one, Marciel. I hope you have an even better day, sir. You have a wonderful day. Catching the entrepreneurial spirit. Trying to. It's not necessarily about being an entrepreneur as much as understanding the opportunity that I've been given and wanting to live it out to the fullest, I guess you could say. Really flex the creativity because I have the ability and the option to do so. Like it's creativity without boundaries in many ways. Like we talked about it last night. He brought it up in the IG live stream, so I know I can talk about it. But just to give you guys an idea of how much George wants to bring our creativity to the forefront and not put boundaries on us, he waited till after I picked my oil concentration to tell me that this is the most expensive oil that George Zaharoff, fragrance oil that George Zaharoff has ever purchased, because it has iris, which per kilo is, at the time when I had the conversation with Claude, was 80 grand per kilo. I'm sure it's went up since then. This was beginning of the year that actually, no, it was late last year that Claude told me the price. So I'm sure it's went up since. And the rose super essence that's in there is the second most. I think it's 60 grand a kilo at the time Claude told me about the price of iris. And iris is a 3-year process for natural iris. The real deal, it's a 3-year process to create the oil. So it's humbling. Like when he told me that, I was like, no, we can change it. And he's like, that's, I don't want you to spend some ridiculous amount on fragrance oil. It's not that serious. He's like, no, is this what you want? Yeah, this, of course, this is exactly what I want. He's like, we're going to do that. So just to give you guys some insight in the way George handles things, it's the strive for excellence first. That comes first. Love in the details. That's the follow-up that ties directly into the strive for excellence, because you can't have perfection, but you can sure strive for excellence. And that's exactly what this is. This is excellence. I don't care what anybody says. If the fragrance just isn't for you, I get that. I can take the criticism. But I'll tell you what, you can't sit here and tell me these aren't magnificent creations and that it wasn't done in a manner that hasn't been done with content creators. You can't argue that with me. I'm sorry, I'll argue you down. Because, logic always wins. Because this is a serious experience. I mean, look, I'm sitting here on a live stream making samples for the orders with you guys. Where else can you get that? Let's be real here. This one's broken. Some of them are broken at times. Some of them show up broken. Is that rose the same? The rose that's in rosé. So rose super essence is indeed part of the formula of rosé, because prior to my fragrance, rosé was his most expensive fragrance oil. So it has the most expensive ingredient that's in rosé plus iris, because Florentine iris is the most expensive fragrance oil per Claude Deer's information he's given to me, which I already had heard iris was the most expensive oil. But so there you go. It's I'll put it to you this way. I don't know the exact dollar amount. I'm just told how, that it was the most expensive and what some of the ingredients cost per kilo. I do know that. So I would venture out to say safely that if this was in the hands of another luxury niche brand, I don't have any one brand in mind, but another bug, just in general, this would not take the packaging out of it completely, just for the fragrance oil. This absolutely would not be a $160 US fragrance, USD. No way, no how. No way, no how. Not for what this fragrance oil costed. So again, that's another testament to how George operates. It's not about making every single penny he can. Affordable luxury is the motto and the design for Zaharoff, and that's what he's trying to do. Create products that are of the same high-end luxury quality as all of the top-tier brands you've come to know and love and desire. That bug, it's like a gnat or something bothering me, but at a much more reachable price point. That's always been George's motto, and it shows through. Like I said, I can't wait for you guys to get this stuff in hand. You'll really understand it more when you get it in hand, because seeing it on videos and pictures and stuff like that does not do the justification of having it in hand. The tactile, like Justin was saying, the feel, the sight, the sense of smell, the experience, the full experience of having the presentation, enjoying the fragrance and all that good stuff. You don't really, I guess understand would be the way to go. Fully understand how special these products are until you get them, which I can't wait for you guys to get them. How are you shipping to India? That would be a question for George Zaharoff. I'm not sure. The shipping department, the logistics side of it is not my forte, sir. I believe he has some distribution. I'm just not certain. Metrod, Byredo, Bald the Freak. I need to finish my monster. Don't knock over the most expensive oil swinging that bug. Yeah, right? We got a few of these jugs, but I mean, that would be a disaster if that was to fall off the table. You want to talk about a mess. They'd never get the smell out of this room again. That's a lot of fragrance oil. A lot. What do you think about Hermes H24? Seems quite an underrated one. I love the EDT. Justin's bringing the EDP so I can try it. That's one of the fragrances I request he bring with him so I can check it out. I brought several for him to check out that he hasn't tried yet. $80 people on a morning Wednesday stream. Man, I appreciate you guys. Just want to sit here and listen to me jabber while I make evening Mystique samples. You crazy kids. For those of you just jumping on, I reiterate, like I did earlier, please give this stream a thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. That's why we love George. If other designers or niche put this out, it would be 300 plus. It would be. There's no doubt. And front and center, easily contacted in the community himself. That's correct. George is accessible. Now he gets tons of messages and emails, so you can't always get to everything right away. I would think most people understand that. But yeah, he tries to stay involved in the community as much as he can. I ran out of glass vials. I got 3 more spots, but that's okay. I'll get more after I fill these. A little short. There we go. AM with the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, AM. Do you drink coffee? Favorite coffee frag? I do not drink coffee. My wife is the coffee drinker. I have one of 2 things in the morning. I either have Redcon 1 Total War before I head to the gym on an empty stomach, which I didn't bring any Total War with me, or most of the time I have the Redcon 1 energy drinks, but at the hotel I'm staying at, they have these sugar-free, this specific monster. So I've been having this morning. I'm gonna go to Walgreens later, which they're limited as well. They only have so much as far as selection for the energy drinks, but I'm gonna grab a few. I gotta have some caffeine in the morning, like most people. I'm a caffeine junkie in some ways, but not a coffee drinker. Now, do I hate coffee? Taste of coffee? No. I mean, there's periods in my life where I would drink coffee in the mornings, but not to the extent of my wife. My wife drinks coffee first thing in the morning. She drinks hot coffee, then she drinks the caramel macchiato, cold Starbucks drink. She buys the bottles, the big bottles, randomly throughout the day. She'll just pour a little bit in a glass here and there. So she's the coffee drinker, not me. Look at me. I went further than I meant to. Get to talking and getting in the rhythm. Ironhide. Have you tried Stronger With You? Ooh, not yet. I really want to, though. I really want to. I'm hoping to get that one soon. When perfumeonline.ca gets it back in stock, I'll probably grab it from them. They're out of stock right now on that and leather. I want both of those. I love leather. I have a sample of leather, so I know I like that one. Total War makes me want to fight someone. There you go. I don't use it much. Do people who ordered all three get any samples to give away asking for a friend? No, sir. No, sir. If you have the ability to experience the whole collection, you have the ability to experience the whole collection. The samples are for those that maybe only order one. So it's just on a per order basis. So yeah, we don't throw samples of the fragrances you already have in the order. Like I said, for those that don't order but still want to sample first, there's a lot of decant sites, such as fatboyfragrance.com, that will be selling decants. Like I said, Juan's taking pre-orders right now for different sizes. Tell you what, this is so much better than how we had to do it last year. Hammering that one in. You can see they don't quite fit all the way in, the ones that are like that. So when you do this, they get stuck. You gotta try to wiggle them out. Hey now. Stay your ass in there. Frags on your immediate want list. Oh, the two we just talked about, both are Stronger With You flankers, leather and oud. Those are ones I would like to get my hands on pretty soon. I'd like to get Oud Mineral from Tom Ford. That's one that's been on my radar. Costa Azura from the Signature line, the EDP, not the Parfum. That's been on my radar. But not a ton of stuff. I don't have a ton of stuff on my radar at the moment. I pretty much have gotten most of what I wanted this year. Whether it was sent to me for review or I bought it, the majority of what I want. Anything specific, like a lot of the Middle Eastern stuff I wanted to get, I got recently. I have a haul coming in from perfumeonline.ca. It should hopefully get here by the weekend. So when I get home, I can do a haul video because I went shopping on Black Friday. The Black Friday sale and bought some more fragrances. I bought Mancera Aquawood, which I've been wanting, and I got some more Middle Eastern fragrances. The exact reason I don't do samples with my business. It would hate me. How does the Redcon compare to Beyond Raw? I've never tried that. I'm not the type that tries a bunch of different pre-workouts. I was a C4 Sport guy most of the time before I switched to Total War. So I'm really not sure. I know there's a ton of good ones out there, you know. it doesn't really come down to a bunch of them being just so much more superb than others. That's not really the case. They're all kind of what and what for the most part. If it's a decent, reputable brand, their pre-workout's probably pretty good. They all, for the most part, have pretty much the same ingredients. You want the Saints to start Taysom Hill? I don't even care. We're going to lose, so it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They can start no one, and it'll be the same outcome. We suck. We're back to suck. Still a Saints fan. Still support my team. Still watch. Still love them. But it's dark days ahead. And the sad part is we have a lot of talent on the team. A lot of talent. We just never groomed Drew's replacement. Jameis Winston was never going to be the answer. Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill were never going to be the answer. That was never going to be the case. You know, Sean Payton gets heralded for being this quarterback whisperer. He damn sure couldn't draft a quarterback, you know. So I wish we still had him, sure. Is he going to show up somewhere else? Probably Dallas. Yeah, probably so. But it is what it is. That's something as Saints fans in the know always expected. He's a Jerry Jones guy. He wants to be in Dallas. He lives in Dallas. That's going to be the inevitable. But he proved to me over the years that he cannot draft a quarterback to save his life. Granted, we were never a top 5 pick, but people make trades and different stuff and find, quarterback projects in the 2nd and 3rd round. And he drafted a bunch of different quarterbacks in his tenure with us. He never drafted one that was worth a damn, that developed to anything. Chase Daniel was about as close as it got for us, which we didn't draft him. But he was decent. The times he had to start in Drew's place, he was decent. That was about as close as we had to a replacement for Drew. But that time passed. Chase Daniel, I don't even think he's in the league anymore. Personally, I'm happy with my mom's, right back. At least he isn't like Colts who draft quarterbacks who quit. Hey, at least you had him for a little while, At least you had Andrew Luck for a little while. Want to know what I think of Dallas? Well, considering you're a Giants fan, I would think you don't think too highly of Dallas Cowboys, but I don't hate the Bucks. I never did. I don't hate the Panthers. The only team I just kind of have hate for is the Falcons. That's the real rivalry with us. The damn Falcons. The fans get really nasty. They really do. At least in my experience in the past, which I don't go to Saints games anymore, obviously. I don't live in Louisiana. About to have to top my glass off here. $75, holding strong. I appreciate you guys. Again, I can't see the likes. I have no idea. But I'd greatly appreciate if you give this a thumbs up. Taking you behind the scenes on making samples for Evening Mystique to pack in the orders. Go after the ones that aren't quite in all the way first. There we go. What's your thoughts on Of the Immortals? So, I actually talked about it in the last weekly rotation because I've only worn it so far one time. Same thing with Second Soul. And it's definitely a completely different fragrance for those of you hoping for a remake of the Siren, which I think, unfortunately, some of you are. It's not. It's a different fragrance. This one kind of caters to my taste a little bit more than the Siren did because it's boozy and spicy. On my skin, it's quite boozy and spicy. There's a little bit of a gourmand sweet feel to it. And there's just some other things going on. It's creamy, it's woody, all that good stuff. But the main things for me is this beautiful sweet cognac note. A lot of spice. A lot of spice. It's a delectable, boozy, spicy fragrance, is the best way to look at it. That's its most simplistic way to describe it based on what I get from my skin. I have to spend more time with it before I can provide a better answer than that. Like I said, it's literally been one wearing. Some more to come. I will do a full review at some point. I just gotta wear it more. Because these 3 fragrances have a lot of facets to them. They nuance very well because of the perfumers that created them and the ingredients that were available to them to create this stuff. So, I mean, second to none quality. Curated at Mon, one of the top flavor houses in the world. So I hope that kind of answers your question. That's kind of the early thoughts that I have on the fragrance from one wearing. It's definitely a really good fragrance, though. Really, really good fragrance. I think a lot of people are going to be happy with it. Uh-oh. There we go. One cracked. Damn it. All right. Gotta throw that one to the side for now. Grab a different one. And that sucker's in there, so I'm gonna have to wait till I pull them all out. I'll have to hold off. See, one cracked. You never know. Doesn't happen often, but does happen. How many of those samples you got to put together today? In the realm of 1,000. Got several hundred done already, but I got to do at least 1,000 today, just to get to a good stopping point. Like, we need more than that. Like, I need to have a few thousand. It's gonna take time. I need a few thousand. It'll take time though. Ross, what do you think of Mercedes-Benz new acceleration subscription fee for their EVs? I don't know. I'm out the loop. I haven't sold Mercedes in years, so I don't know. I don't keep up with them. I'm not the one to ask. Let's go ahead and top this off. Yep, I don't work for them no more, so I could care less. I don't drive a Mercedes. I don't sell Mercedes. Still love the brand. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the brand. It was the best brand that I worked for. But, I mean, I don't keep on the stuff because it's not my business anymore. I'm not in that business. I have a fresh glass. Anybody thirsty? I would advise not drinking it. Yeah, if I was still in the car business, I wouldn't be here doing this. They wouldn't allow that. All right. Wow. Come on, Ross. Where's your TLTG lab coat? Yeah, right? Uh-oh. We have a dry down, low down side. It looks like I could make a fine old fashioned with that. There you go. I mean, I wouldn't advise drinking it, but boy, it looks tasty, right? Glad you could make it. We had Allie in the live stream last night on Instagram. She popped in. I forgot which old man joke I cracked. I would hope she relayed it. I asked her to. Good to see you, Joe. Heard you're still feeling bad, man. I hope you get feeling better very, very quickly, man. I know it sucks to be sick. Let's see. Would you consider rare carbon only fall in wintertime fragrance? You mentioned freshness. I think spring it can work. I think it works in spring. High heat, I wouldn't want to wear it like in summertime. Now at night, climate controlled environment, sure, just I wouldn't do many sprays, 2 or 3 sprays. But yeah, I think it works fine in the spring unless you have a very warm spring. Like if you're in a very hot climate where spring is a lot of people's summers, then no, I wouldn't advise that. But like where I'm at in Colorado Springs, it'll work fine in the spring. I consider it more of a like 2.5 season fragrance. Like there's certain times in spring I would shelve it at a certain point. mean you would have some fresh breath, haha. Well, I don't know how. I mean, from the alcohol, yeah, it would kill a lot of bacteria, but I can't imagine how that would be to have that in my mouth. That's this all that fragrance oil. That's a lot. That is a lot. You bunch of crazy degenerates. I got 80 people watching me make samples on a Wednesday morning. I appreciate you guys, you crazy degenerates. Speaking of degenerates, everybody, again, say hi to the Dry Down Lowdown. My favorite degenerate. Well, guys, what's going on, Dino? Brother Ross, sorry I missed the live. I was working, but I'm watching now. Sin of the day, Ferrari, Scuderia, Forte, Possum Hollow. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, my man. Glad you could join. Get some of these out of here, and we'll try to get that cracked one out last. Come on. A few of these that are stuck. We'll get to all of them. Oh, man. Got so many freaking samples to do. It's unreal. Unreal. But it's all part of the process and part of the experience. We did samples for 2 days last time, which this is day 2 for me of doing samples. I had most of a full day to do samples last time we were here before Thanksgiving. All right. Ross, what fragrance are you bottling for samples? This is Evening Mystique. This is my fragrance release with Zaharoff. It's the title, Z Creators 2.0 making samples. That's, whoop. Wow, believe it or not. No, it did crack. Never mind. I was about to say, believe it or not, it didn't crack. Yeah, it did. Now I have Evening Mystique on my fingers, which was the inevitable doing this. It smells good, though. Leather tobacco before the end of the year. It's possible. It's possible. Make sure you get a Evening Mystique first, though. That's the more important release, you know. Leather tobacco's coming, though. Come on. Some of these get stuck. Jesus. Come on. Come on. There we go. Sweater. Will Tltg ever do an oud release? Possibly one day. Possibly one day. You never know. Can't sit. It's one of those never say never kind of things. There's no plans to do a third fragrance at the moment. And I'm not saying if I get to do a third fragrance, it would be an oud fragrance, but because that's not what I have planned if I get to do it, because I know what I'd want to do a third time around. But you never know. What the future holds, we will find out eventually. I'm assuming it's the inevitable, right? But it's definitely in my mind because I do like oud fragrances, and I know what types of ouds are available at Mon. So obviously, if I got the chance to, I would want to stick with the process I'm with now to create such fragrance. But again, like I said, if I ever get to do a third one, that's not what I have planned to do. The story I've been telling, which I continued with this second fragrance, there's more to go with the story. So I know what I want to do. No spoilers and no teasers, because I don't know if I'll ever get to do it. Jesus. Come on. Come on. Ah, finally. Now it's to try to get this cracked one out. I'm actually shipping out 12 ml to a friend of mine. Business over pleasure. That's That's a good chunk of that bottle because it's only 60 ml. Told him he was lucky that he's a good friend of mine because this can't be had anymore. Going to hit the post office soon. 12 ml is generous. That's very, very generous. Of a 60 ml bottle that you've already put a dent in that you can't replace, you know? So that's very kind of you. Come on, you bastard. Get out. Almost. Feel it coming. Come on. Got it. Put that to the side. All right, excuse me, guys. I got to grab some more vials. I am officially out of vials over here to grab. So excuse me. You'll hear them clanging. Got a big old box behind where the phone's propped up, full of sample vials. And there's a broken one right away. All right, this is plenty to keep me going for a little bit. What a mess. I was debating on getting Momentum Unbreakable from Bentley. Do you find it still being worth it? I haven't wore it in a while, but it's a unique iris fragrance as far as designer level. It's a very herbal and herbaceous iris fragrance. Galbanum, a lot of greens, stuff like that. Very herbal tone. It's unique. Not challenging, but unique. It's different. I haven't smelled other iris fragrances like it. It's not my favorite iris fragrance, but what I found so refreshing about it is how different it is. Only ask because I'm trying to be more picky about my fragrance purchases. And if a fragrance is somewhat forgettable, I'd rather save that for something that I want to wear more. I mean, I would try to secure a sample. If that's the route you're going, you're trying to be more selective, obviously the best course of action is to try to do some sampling if you can first. I would think there's some available because they typically have samples of Bentley fragrances, official samples. So I would try to secure that because I can see this not being necessarily for everyone. Like I said, not challenging. It's not a challenging fragrance, but it's different. If you're looking for different, you might actually really enjoy it. Like I said, I like it. I gave it a really good rating. I just haven't worn it in a while because I just have too many damn fragrances. You know, I gravitate at certain times of the year to certain things, and right now it's not the time of year for that. That I think is going to be great come springtime because of all the herbal facets to it, and it's still quite fresh. You know, so I'm sure I missed a few of these while I was grabbing stuff. But never mind, the live is still rolling, but all your lives are excellent. Appreciate that. Actually getting kind of warm in here. Take this hoodie off. Sounds like the damn heater's running now that I think about it. And it's cold outside, don't get me wrong. Hold on for a sec, guys. Turn the damn heater off. Hot. One of these. There it is. It was one of those switches. Just wasn't sure which one. All right. Let's get back to work, shall we? All right. New comments. Get my wife a bottle of rosé for Christmas. Hard to beat. It's one of my wife's favorites. She's got her own bottle. It's definitely good for men and for women. Marketed for men, but definitely very unisex at the same time. Hey, Georgie. Come say hello to everyone on the live stream. I just turned the heater off. It was getting hot in here. Say hi to everyone, George. Or keep walking. Oh, you come and join me.
Yeah, I was gonna grab a chair.
By all means. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Zaharoff.
Hi, everybody. How's everything? How's everyone doing?
Yeah, I was going to clean up my little pile after because I had a few of them drop. We had 80 people at one point on a morning Wednesday stream. It was hovering around 80. It's crazy. I'll take that.
I'm wiped out. I'm wiped, like wiped.
Hey, he's been traveling all over.
And it's nonstop.
Oh, Chris was cool with me posting it, by the way. I posted the comments.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was very, very nice. I was telling these guys at the beginning of the stream, so nice of Chris.
I'm wiped out. Hi, everybody. I'm wiped out. I'm wiped. I feel like a mop. Like you stuck my head in like soap and water and started washing the floor.
It's that bad.
Like I'm exhausted.
And Dre even popped in live for a little bit. She's at the gym right now.
And so I'm still gonna go to gym tonight, though. I need to.
That's what I wanted to hear. I was telling them earlier, based on the time you wanted to leave, I'm hoping it's because you have a personal trainer appointment, because I would love to go to the gym this evening.
Hi, Clinton. Hello, no nonsense. Hello.
Yeah, that's Joe, by the way, Joe Roman.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Joe. No nonsense fitness.
Yeah. Ross, if you happen to stumble across a case of rosé and George won't notice, feel free to send it.
Rosé is almost sold out until next spring. Like we've sold so much of our product that I won't have X or rosé until next spring.
So with that said, let me go to a Baltimore big man. Just said he wants to get a bottle for his wife for Christmas. So you might want to do that.
Yeah, you might want to do it because it's gone. And leather tobacco, I didn't make a lot of those either. I don't have the glass bottles. We've sold completely. We've sold a lot. So thank you to everybody for their support. I'm gonna get back to work. Much love to you guys. Enjoy your Wednesday. Is it hump day? Wait, Wednesday
today is hump day. That's right. Hump day.
Much love.
Thank you, Georgie. Yeah, that man's exhausted. He's been in several countries over the last few days. A lot of flights. Never a dull moment. That's right.
I don't want to touch product that has been counted.
I would. Is Athena here?
No.
I would wait. Is she coming today?
I need to send for Curly.
Oh, the stuff that Andrea needed. I would think whatever's not wrapped, and as long as you leave a little note for her so she can adjust her count, I would think you're safe that way. As long as you write it down and put it on her desk, that way she can adjust her numbers. Because there's still plenty that hasn't been wrapped yet. Oh, got behind on the comments. Hey, Ross and George, would be great for, hold on. George Zaharoff. I'm rocking signature today, George.
Thank you.
Julia said, for someone with no connections and zero knowledge on perfumery, what's the best way, in your opinion, to start a fragrance brand? That is for you, sir.
$1 million.
To do it right, for sure.
I don't want to discourage anybody, but this, it depends how there's different levels.
To be original is what he's talking about, like molds and stuff like that.
Right. So if you want to, I mean, you see a lot of people in this space, they create fragrances on different levels. And if you're just starting out and you don't have resources, if you don't have capital, I would say that a lot of these guys do it slowly and they buy oils, bottles. You could find some beautiful stock bottles all over the world.
Niles is a great example of this.
Yeah,
Niles continues to evolve. City Rhythm, for those of you that don't know.
I mean, look at what Niles has done. Niles is incredible, and he's very successful, and he had nothing. He started from zero.
He started from
and
zero.
It's amazing. It's just he has a good eye. He's an artist, and he has a good eye, and he was hungry. And so I guess you just need to be hungry, and then you figure out everyone else. You figure it out how to make things happen.
You have to have the work ethic and the vision. If you have those two things, you'll be all right. You'll figure it out. And that's in everything.
Hi, Dan. So Ross will be here till either Sunday or Monday. Until every order gets shipped out, Ross will be here to make sure every order that gets sent.
I'm touching every single package, ladies and gentlemen.
And I had to bring him and and Justin with his wife back, because I can't do this all. We have 3 people here doing it too, but we needed just a one more push to get all the initial orders out. And so we're very grateful. Thank you for your support and love. And it's really intense. It's crazy. But I think that once you see everything, you're going to be blown away. There's no doubt. Unless you're very jaded and you're used to getting, Baccarat Rouge in all the time. I don't know. And
I don't see how you could be jaded by it. Like this. I've said it earlier in the stream. I'll put these up against anything and argue people down with logic. Because it's second to none products here. The quality doesn't get higher. Just because someone charges more doesn't mean the quality's higher. We definitely stand behind these products. Like I said earlier, we strive for excellence in everything, especially when it comes to this project. Strive for excellence. Perfection isn't possible, but you can always strive for excellence, right, George?
Right.
That's why I don't do 10 out of 10 fragrances. 10 out of 10 represents perfection. And that's why I just believe there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10 anything. That's why I just don't. So a 9.5 out of 10 from me is a 10, because I hardly give out any 9.5s in my ratings. Happens on occasion. It's happened recently. Trying to remember, I've done a few 9s recently too. There's been some good stuff coming into my life lately. All right, Georgie. And that was George Zaharoff, ladies and gentlemen, making his exit. Putting together an order for Andrea for some stuff she requested. Just shelling out the cash for Ross's expensive oil. I wish he could have heard that. Looking forward to holding it in my hand. I'm looking forward for you to get it too. Yep, Boss Bottled Intense. So I haven't wore it in a long time. I have the EDP, the Intense EDP. I just haven't wore it in a while. Again, I go back to I just have too many damn fragrances. I got a ton of good stuff. Problem is I have a ton of it. So I never get to wear everything. Luckily, I keep everything in a cool room, out of the sunlight. Most of them are in their boxes. Help extend the shelf life as best I can. I mean, certain things will spoil faster than others. Typically, citrus top notes go first, and then the higher the quality of the oils, the better they get over time. But citruses are always the first to go. Typically, woods, resins, ambers, things like that, florals. They don't really spoil. They really don't spoil. Like I have even a cheap bottle, for example, original Nautica, 20-some-odd-year-old bottle I have. The only thing spoiled is a little bit of citrus soured at the top. Then it goes into this beautiful aquatic, marine, floral, woody fragrance after like 2 minutes. And that's a cheap-ass fragrance that's over 20 years old. So it all depends. They never truly spoil through and through unless you leave them in sunlight. They're in heat. Temperature goes up and down all the time. All the terrible conditions that you've heard of, as long as you keep them out of that, you're fine. Hillary, what's going on? I don't know if I would say working hard. A lot of small, tedious work, and a lot of it. I got a lot more samples to do. That's all part of it. You plan to downsize in the future? I myself recently cleaned house and a bit of stuff. I don't know, maybe eventually. I've talked about it before. It's gotten to where it's cluttered. It's just hard to part with stuff. So maybe after this move, it depends, because I'm going to have more room moving into a bigger place when we go to Texas. And we'll see. As of right now, I don't have any plans to get rid of anything. Have original Spice Bomb 2015, 2016. It still smells the same. Oh, yeah, I highly doubt that would be spoiled at that point. You could have an original bottle, I think 2012, 2010, 22, I don't know, somewhere in the mid 2000s it came out. You could have a launch bottle. It's probably still fine, Stuff like that. That's all spices and tobacco and stuff like that. There's barely any freshness to it. I can't imagine that ever really spoiling. 20, 30 years from now, it's probably still going to be fine. As long as it was kept in a decent situation, like I said, out of the light and in a climate-controlled environment, it'd be fine. Just get a bigger frag room, especially in Texas. I mean, that's the plan. That is the plan. I'm going to change my shelving setup completely. Part of me wants to take everything out the boxes, but part of me is like, no, it's better for storage purposes. It's silly to take them out just to show it in a video, you know? Like, it's really more beneficial for me to have the added protection. Joe, is that a late response? Because George left like 2 minutes ago. Scott, what's going on, my man? Damp and cold here, wearing Lalique Ombre Noir, Amber Spicy Cognac. Tenfold, good buddy, tenfold. Let's fill some more samples, shall we? So I'll probably wrap this up in a little bit. I'm not going to go live the whole time. My phone battery will die eventually. But I learned my lesson from last time because the Wi-Fi is so spotty. I'm just on mobile network data. And I already sent my Galaxy Note 10 Plus off in its envelope for trade-in, so I don't have that anymore to try to work between two phones. Luckily, the comments are working, so I'm able to see them. Granted, I'm going to miss some because it's not the biggest live chat section on my screen, especially with some of the longer comments. Finish filling this row and I'll check the comments real quick with you guys before I start capping these. Let's see. Boxes still display well and can always pull out, show off. What up, George? Any plans to review Mr. Smells' new fragrance? I'd like to. George tried it because he was with Dan's partner, Matt Wilson, the Wilson side of Naughton and Wilson. And he smelled it. And he didn't give me any nuances or anything. He just told me it smelled really good. I'm sure it's going to be good because Gravitas was good. Bon Viveur was real good. That was my favorite of the two. So I'm sure it's going to be good. I'm sure it's going to be an excellent Chypre. So I look forward to it.
Close that up and come to the office, please.
Okay. Okay, I have to go, guys. So something's going on. We got to head out. I appreciate everybody checking everything out with me. It was good to see all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming to check me out. Like I said, make sure to get your pre-orders in if you're interested. Catch you guys on the next one. Be on the lookout. I'm sure I'll be live in the next couple of days. Have a good one, guys.